So, you have a passion of some sort. Maybe you like playing an instrument. Maybe you love painting. Maybe you love doing what I'm doing right now, making videos on YouTube and posting them for people to enjoy. But, supposedly this passion that you had, you start detesting it. It starts feeling like a chore. You start reaching the state of burnout, as people call it. And you might be wondering, if this is such a passion for me, why am I so burnt out? Like, why is it that I'm detesting doing this all of a sudden? When I began, it was a passion. I loved doing this. Nobody had to tell me to do it, and I would do it. And that was exactly the case with me. If you look back on this YouTube channel, I have around 70 videos posted. Back when I started, I was on fire. I was on fire. I had this fire inside of me that nobody could quench. I had this fire to teach people about self-improvement and to teach them how to fix their lives. To teach them how to have the mental fortitude of a champion. Teach them how to overall be better people. And over time, around video number 45, number 50, slowly but surely, this started turning more into a chore. You might be feeling this way. It might be in an instrument, in art, in whatever endeavor that you're going through right now. You started pursuing something because it was a hobby. It was a passion of yours that nobody could tell you, oh, don't do it, because you would do it because you love it. It's not a chore to you. It is exactly that, a passion. But over time, it started turning into a chore. Every single time that you would look at that canvas, every single time that you would look at that piano, every single time that you would look at whatever hobby it is that you were doing, you started hating it. Slowly but surely. You didn't want to admit it to yourself. You didn't want to admit to yourself how much you hated looking at that canvas, looking at that creative work that you were pursuing. But slowly you started losing the creativity that fueled everything. Now you don't know what to draw on that canvas. Now you don't know, I'm not a musician, but you don't know what to play on the piano or whatever. If you're in the situation, you clicked on the right video. Because this is exactly where I was at. I was struggling with this, and in fact, I still am. Not to the same degree. Not to the same degree. Back then, literally a week ago, you can look at my community posts. I was struggling hard with this. But now I have actually went through a regimen that is solving the entire issue, and I'm not going to commit the same mistake again. There is a way that your passion can turn into a chore, and it is your job to avoid that. You might be thinking to yourself right now, because I love this hobby, that means that whenever I pursue it, my brain does not get stressed out. There is no degree of stress whenever I actually start pursuing this goal, this hobby. When I'm playing the piano, when I'm painting on that canvas, there is no stress at all. Why? This hobby of mine doesn't induce any stress because I love it, right? Well, wrong, actually. Even if you love a certain activity, you could love it with all your heart. It will induce stress, and after you're done with that activity, that stress does not go away. You might think that whenever you start playing that piano and you finish, whenever you start drawing on that canvas and you finish, I know I'm using this example a lot, but you can apply this to any creative work. You might think that afterwards there is no stress, or even if there was stress, it's gone. That's wrong. The stress keeps stacking up and up and up and up. And I might be rambling a lot about stress, but you're going to see how it ties back to burnout, because it has a lot to do with it. And you might be thinking, okay, Angel, if I'm stressed even when I do the things that I love, how is it that I can prevent stress from stacking up? The way you do that is by taking breaks. And first of all, let me clarify what I don't mean by taking breaks. Because a lot of you guys might think, oh yeah, I take breaks, man. I scroll on TikTok. Oh yeah, I go on YouTube and like just chill for a moment sometimes. That is not taking a break. That is stimulating your brain like a monkey. That is stimulating your brain to the point of exhaustion, just going on YouTube, going on TikTok, going on X, on Twitter, on all these platforms, and giving your brain all of this garbage to think about. That is not taking a break. When I say taking a break, I mean things like working out, going on walks, meditating, things of that nature that allow your brain to just be. It allows your brain to just emotionally process. It allows your brain to release stress, because there are two things. There are stressors and there's when you release stress. And they don't happen at the same time. Because you might be thinking, when I finish an activity that is stressing me out, naturally the stress goes out with it, right? No, that's not how this works. You finish an activity, the stress is still going to be there. The stress has already been induced, and it is your job to get rid of that stress. And you do that by self-nourishment, by self-care. And this is the exact mistake that I made when I started this YouTube channel. I started focusing all of my energy, everything that I had onto YouTube. I left the gym. I stopped meditating as much. I stopped journaling as much. All these things that I loved, I left them all for YouTube. And I was like, you know what? No, man, I can keep going, man. I can record 4, 5, 6 videos a day without having a care in the world. And could I do it? Yeah, at the time, because at the time I was nourishing myself each and every single day. I was going to the gym every day. I was going on walks every day. I was journaling, meditating each and every single day. So I had these huge reserves of energy that allowed me to output so much work on my hobby, on my passion per se. Because you might be looking at your hobby right now, you might be looking at your passion as exactly that, a passion. But there comes a point where it becomes a stressor that weighs down in your life to such a degree that you stop working out. You stop eating healthy. You stop doing all the self-nourishment things that gave you that energy to begin with. You have to go back to your roots, man. If you're currently burnt out, what are the things that even allowed me to perform to such a degree? I took care of myself. I meditated. I did all these self-nourishment things that actually allowed me to perform to the degree that I'm going at right now. And what ends up happening, you leave these self-nourishment activities for the sake of your hobby, and that's where everything goes to hell. You have to understand that as enjoyable as your passion might be, you have to set boundaries. When I wake up during the day, when you wake up during the day, you have to tell yourself, in the morning, okay, this is my time for nourishment. The first 2 hours is for nourishment. I'm gonna go out on a walk, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna journal. Then starting hour number 3, depending on the time that you wake up, this varies from person to person, then I'm going to start doing my work. Then I'm gonna pursue my passion. I'm gonna pursue the piano, I'm gonna pursue making YouTube videos, do whatever. I'm gonna pursue it for 4 hours. And after those 4 hours, 5, 6 hours, this can vary, I'm gonna finish and I'm not gonna think about it for the rest of the day. I'm gonna go out there, I'm not gonna go on TikTok, I'm not gonna go on YouTube and start stimulating myself like a dumbass. I'm not gonna do any of that. What I'm gonna do is go out there, go on a walk, go speak with some friends, hang out, man. Do some things that are self-nourishing, meditate, journal. But a lot of people make the mistake of going into their passion, and since they're so passionate about it, it's that same passion that ruins them, that ends up ruining your creativity, that ends up ruining your productivity in the long term. Because you stress your brain to such a degree that it's just like, you know what? I cannot take this anymore. This supposed hobby of yours, this passion of yours, it's just stressing me out. So I don't want to do it anymore. Sure, consciously, to a very logical level, you might like doing it, but your subconscious is just like, screw this. I hate it. I don't like doing this anymore. Then you burn out. Why? Because you never give your brain the nourishment that started this passion in the first place. Back when you started this passion, chances are you were a really healthy human being. You're really healthy in terms of your physical activity. You get the point. You get the point, but you have to come back to your roots and stop pursuing your hobby to such a degree that it burns you out. Even, I would go as far as to say, have one entire day where you just don't do your hobby. You don't do your passion at all. Because if you want that passion to stay as a passion, you have to take breaks. There's no other way around it. And if you ignore this vital rule, then you will burn out. By the way, brother, if you want to join a Discord server with like-minded young men and women just like you who are also on their self-improvement path, wanting to get better every single day, you can go ahead and join that link in the description, all right, brother? And remember, a man who masters himself is truly free.